Hi guys, it's Catherine on Catherine Factory, and today I want to show you how to make 3 different ways of headband. All this fabric that I'm showing you right now, I didn't buy it. It's from alterations. It's a hem out of long dresses. So I'm going to use all this beautiful fabric that left over from the dresses, and it's really nice, soft, and it's stretchy. It's jersey beautiful dresses that was long before, and now I'm gonna use them to make this beautiful headband. Please stay with me and I'll show you professional way how to do headband. Let's start it with cutting fabric and preparing for all these 3 headbands. Number 1, it's 6 by 13 inches main fabric, and the other piece will be 13 inches long and about 4 inches wide. The second handband will be 19 inches long and almost the same width, about 6 inches, but you can make your own width, 5 inches, 5.5, 6 inches, 6.5. It's all on you. Now I need to cut that little piece. It's 3 inches by 3.5. And the third style will be about 14 inches long and again about 6 inches wide. With that big piece, I will need a small piece about 4 inches wide and 5 inches long. I need that for elastic. I will show you in the future. I cut all fabrics and look at these beautiful pieces. It's number 1, number 2, and number 3. Let's go ahead and make number 1 style. For number 1, I will need one elastic piece about 1 inches wide and 4 inches long. Let's start sewing long edges. I use overlock, but you can use a regular zigzag machine. Then turning inside out. Now I'm going to sew a small piece with the regular stitch straight sewing machine. The idea is to leave the little hole right in the middle of that small piece. Then the edges of the main fabric, I will gather it and I'll sew them to secure. After that, take that little piece and put the main fabric through that little hole right in the middle. Make sure that the seam looking face to you. Make sure that those both fabrics are meet the edges, and then we're going to make a stitch together with elastic. Just like that, elastic will put it on top where we don't have a seam and make a stitch. When you finish sewing, just pull the fabric back as I'm showing you right now, and the edge become very beautiful and neat. Let's do the other side the same way. Put the fabric through the little hole inside, right in the middle of that little piece, meet the edge, pull the elastic together, make a stitch. Pull the headband on the sides and come out just like that. That little hole, we're gonna sew it on a straight stitch sewing machine. Look how beautiful this headband came out. It's very stylish and you can find the same style at any store. And now you know how to make it. It's time to go ahead and make number 2 style of our beautiful headband. Let's take our 19 inches long piece and sew them together the same way as the first one. You can use an overlock or zigzag sewing machine. Turning inside out and sew the little piece together as well. I'm gonna use overlock. Turn that little piece inside out. I recommend you to use iron, and it's easy to work with when the pieces are nice and flat after sewing. Take a big piece and pull through the small piece just like that. After that, simply sewing these parts together on a regular sewing machine. Make sure that you gather a little bit. I'll do usually by hand. After that, we're gonna do hand sewing and just to secure that pieces all together. And I'll show you how to do it. It came out just like that. Now I'm gonna fold that seam together and sew right in the middle. Then I will move that little piece right in the middle, fold both sides, both edges, and secure with the hand needle as well. The second style of my headband is done. It came out beautiful, super easy to make it. Let's go ahead and make the last one. It's gonna be just like that. To make one, I need about 14 inches long piece. I will sew it at the edges together, turn it inside out, and make a knot. Make sure that knot stays up and the seam on both sides will be down. In order to avoid pulling a knot so hard, I'm gonna secure it with a sewing machine. This will help to stay the knot on the same spot when you put it on your head. After I tie the knot, that piece becomes smaller. After I tie the knot, that piece becomes smaller. The second piece I will use the same length. At this time I'm going to use the elastic a little wider, it's 1.5 inches. I'm going to sew that piece and make sure that I leave that little pocket hole right in the middle, just as a first style, a headband. Let's take that piece with the knot and I will gather the edges and secure with a stitch. And now I'm gonna do the same way as the first style of headband. So I'm gonna take the fabric with a knot, pull through that hole, meet the edges, make sure that seams stays on the same side. Add elastic, make a stitch, and copy it the other side. I don't know why, but I love this moment when you pull it to the side, and before it didn't look anything, but now it's definitely a gorgeous piece. It's just like at the store, but now you know how to make it. Of course, don't forget about that little hole that you can fix by a sewing machine or by hand. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something new with me. All these three headbands I make from the leftovers of cutting addresses. Make sure you keep it in mind and use it maybe for your customers or for yourself in the future.